Hi, Reverend Paula Zabkar here from Spiritual Soul Center, and I have a little soul session for you today, and it's based on this article that I read just last week on toxic positivity. Toxic positivity. Here's a quote from that article. It says, "Relentless focus on positivity isn't just ineffective, it's harmful." Relentless focus on positivity isn't just ineffective, it's harmful. And I think sometimes we forget that, because what happens is if we constantly want to tell someone about the positive things and keep our thoughts positive as we're advised to do, because that's how we see life. But when we're doing that for someone that isn't ready to accept that, then they start to blame themselves. And their depression or their sadness or their discomfort gets worse. So there is this idea that too much positivity, especially in situations that call for feelings of discomfort. You see, those kind of feelings aren't our enemy. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and some of those feelings, and all of our feelings actually, are part of the human experience. And some of them are really hard. Some of them are really sad. Some of them are really difficult. And there is no need to put a layer of positivity onto difficult situations. There isn't. I think what we need to do more often is to learn how to be in the discomfort with others and to be there in a supportive way rather than to try to make it okay, to try to fix it. You know, we can't do that. We can't fix anyone. We can't fix the situation. We can't make it better. We know, and we know this intuitively, that each of us has got to go through life and experience what we're experiencing in our own way, according to our own beliefs, in our own humanness. And no one can lift that from us. No one can lift that from us. So when we're engaging with other folks who are dealing with difficult situations, we should be mindful about how they're receiving maybe our positivity, how they're receiving our encouragement. Are they receiving it, or do they shut down? You know, if someone shuts down in the midst of your encouragement, it's up to you to notice and to back off a little bit and say, all right, this isn't working. You know, maybe it's not time for a pep talk. Maybe it's time to just listen and connect, and to allow the other person to feel your support. Not to tell them everything's going to be all right, because you know what, in that moment, maybe everything isn't all right. It isn't all right, and that discomfort that they're feeling is better supported by your heart opening up to that. By your heart opening up to that. There's a couple other advice given in this article that I want to share with you. It says, instead of telling a loved one, you know, it could be worse. I don't think there's anything worse than saying that. It could be worse. Really? What about saying, you know, that sounds really hard. Do you want to talk about it? That sounds really hard, and I'm here for you. How about this? Instead of cheer up when you notice someone is not cheerful, what about, you know, what's going on? You know, what can I do for you? How can I support you? Do you want to talk about it? To open up space to allow that person to decide how much they want to share. And instead of, you'll get past this, you know, yes, that's the truth, and that's what you hope someone gets to eventually, but in the midst of discomfort and sadness and brokenness, saying you'll get past it is no help. It's no help. What about this instead? You know, that sounds really hard. Sounds really hard. Tell me what happened. You know, with your body and with your heart and with your energy, to stay present to someone who's dealing with a difficult time. To not try to fix it or make it better. To not try to pretend that those feelings can be overcome simply by thinking positive. Because in the midst of difficulty, that is the most harmful way we can show up. We can't wish it away. We can only get more comfortable being with people, being with others who are in their own discomfort. Thanks for listening. See you next time.